I want to do Chaos, so do you want to take care of the Empire for us?
I would indeed, and yeah, I always like seeing what Empire brings in this matchup. And starting with the infantry corps, looks like we will see 5 spearmen with shields. Backing them up, we have 2 halberdiers for a little bit of AP, along with that anti-large. Now we also have 2 flagellant, a pick I really like against Chaos. Just helps hold the line,
Hmm.
bolsters the infantry of the rest of your corps. Now for the skirmish contingent, we have 2 handgunners. Pretty standard, one of them, of course, being the silver bullets, the ROR. Now for the as well we should go over, we do have a cannon.
Ooh.
1 great cannon, just a standard cannon. 2 demigryph knights. Now for the leadership, we have a jade wizard, just earthblood and the power stone. Just a bit curious if you have just earthblood, if you really need the power stone, but I'm sure it'll come in handy. More magic is always good. And here we have Karl Franz, Reichlin the Runefang, Stand Your Ground, and Foe Seeker. And yeah, pretty straightforward army. Hold the line, put down some good AP gunfire and the demigryphs to push back any Chaos Knights or Shaggies. Now what is Chaos? Brought to banish this Empire force.
Yeah, well, taking a look at Chaos here, we're going to have 2 Marauder Horsemen, 2 Marauder Horse Masters, one of each on either flank. For the Infantry Corps, we're going to have a pretty heavy hitting force here in the form of 4 Chaos Warriors with great weapons and 2 Forsaken, one on either flank. So a lot of funds are being invested in the infantry here. We're going to have the Word Spawn Chaos, or ROR, with their Armor Sundering. And then we're also going to have a Chaos Sorcerer of Death with the Forbidden Rod, Scroll of Shielding, Fate of Buna, Spirit Leech, Aspect of Dread Knight, and Life Leeching. And then we're going to have Kolek Suneater himself on the battlefield with Lord of the Storm, Foe Seeker, and that will be it. So, here we go. Both players look like they're about ready, and yeah, going from there.
Oh, Shetland, it's halberd demis. It's not the lances. Sorry. Nothing to get too excited here.
Oh, yeah. Lances would have
I
been.
gotta say the lances just kind of look a little better. Although, I mean, halberd demis are still beautiful units.
Hmm.
Sometimes you don't appreciate them since they've been in the game for just so long. But anyway, back to the battle.
Yeah, Cannon going to
And
open fire on top of the Horse Masters immediately. I like that pick, so trying to take care of these Chaos Skirmishers before they can get any damage done. But Chaos doing some nice positioning, good micro maneuvering
yeah, some
side to
nice,
side.
nice dodging there. It looks like they only lost 2 models from that first cannon volley, which is it's pretty solid. Normally you could lose. I mean, you could
Yeah.
lose almost half the unit if you got very unlucky.
And also, it was the Horsemen, so who really cares? Marauder Horsemen are only 500, so 2 models ain't no biggie.
Indeed, and just keep the damage off of their main targets.
Mm-hmm,
Off of
exactly.
Kolek and this very strong armor-piercing front.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I do like this Empire formation, though. You know, he's got a lot of good defensive positions, you know. He's got here, the front line good. And then, most importantly, with these Demogryph Knights, obviously, he can just dive out, defend wherever he needs to, get in those engagements. But as you mentioned, I just want to call out those Flagellants again. Having these Unbreakable units supporting all this Chaff Infantry is such a good strategy. Really, really helps shore up the leadership.
Yeah, as they hold, perhaps if Carl can just deal with Kolek from there, he can just shred all this high-tier
Yeah.
Chaos Infantry. But, you know, I really don't like this. The Forsaken is going around this flank. It just has some skirmish cav support, but I think it really needs a bit more. It needs Kolek, it needs the Chaos Warrior.
Yeah. Well, and the
He's putting
Word
a bit too
Spawn,
much
too.
right into the teeth of this Empire force, you know. And here you go, because he doesn't have any support up here. Carl can just land on the Forsaken and shred it before it can get into the spear. But
Yeah.
here we go. He's going for that main push, but it's right into the teeth of this force. I mean, look at this. This Chaos Warrior is just being shredded by
Yeah.
the gunfire.
Chaos Warrior getting shredded, the Forsaken getting shredded, and one thing I want to point out too is like the Word Spawn, keep it with your Forsaken. I mean, it has Armor Sundering, that's one of its main benefits,
Yeah.
and you don't need Armor Sundering to help Chaos Warriors in combat. So,
Yeah, I would have loved to see, yeah, the Chaos Marshmallows up here with that Forsaken, maybe Kolek as well, and make a very strong push in this flank. Maybe going into the teeth is it's a bold move, but here we go.
oh
You know,
no.
they are tearing apart the spear, and oh no, yeah, Kolek seems to be trapped. Yeah.
Yeah, Kolek is stuck between a bunch of Demigryph Knights, Karl Franz, and now there's bullet shooting him too. Like, Kolek, dangerous position, but look at that. Luckily, he's looking like he's going to be able to pull out.
Indeed. He may survive there, but that's a lot of early damage that Kolek doesn't want to take. And
absolutely.
While these Demigryph Knights can be healed, he cannot, and this damage may just wear him down over time.
Absolutely, but a big hit on top of Karl from Kolek in return, and yeah, I mean, this is an interesting fight. Both sides have an unbreakable unit in that blob fight, so it's making both sides' leadership stay pretty strong. But yeah, right now it looks like the Empire is doing a good job. But once again, we're seeing kind of a refused flank where the Empire is just pulling back a lot of its infantry forces to continue to defend its range power, since the range power is just dishing out so much damage right now.
Indeed, and just pulling some of these Chaos Warriors into a bit of a trap. But here we go. One handgunner is routed, and the skirmish cav has done a decent job trying to poke and prod and get at some of the AP misses for the Empire. But still, yeah, looks like a pretty strong position for the Empire here. Still holding this hill and still with Demigryphs. Now charging down into these Chaos spawn, which might be shredded.
Yeah. Well, and I have to say the armor sundering from the word spawn is probably helping out this skirmish cav quite a lot, debuffing the armor since they don't have any armor piercing of their own. But Kolek diving in there once again, and I don't know, I think he might be biting off a bit more than he can chew, even though he is dishing out a lot of damage to Karl.
Yeah, and a Spirit Leech going down on Karl as well, but it's been countered with the Earthblood too, and oh, here we go, Battle of the Champions. Kolek going right at Karl.
Oh man, a big hit.
Massive hit. And we'll see, it's some good Overwatch fire from both sides. AP missiles from the skirmish cav and from the silver bullets. But oh, look at Karl, he's running.
Yeah, Karl is running right now. Oh my god. If they can take
a few good volleys from the skirm cav, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be able to get back and heal, though. So it looks like all the Chaos Forces just kind of ran into a trap of Halberds and Demigryph Knights, despite having a nice little advantage in that. Yeah, Karl's back. He's going to get healed.
Yeah, it does seem like it. I mean, but I have to give kudos to Kolek here. He's being microed really well. There's been so many times I thought he was going to die, but uh-oh. That, as I say...
just a bit too soon.
A bit too soon, yeah. He just took a face full of hot metal, and yeah, with that, it looks like the balance of power is really going to start shifting.
And the great mountain god has been repelled and maybe felled here soon with the Overwatch gunfire, and Karl has been healed, returns as the hero of the Empire, and the only thing that's really keeping this Chaos Force intact is actually these few remaining Chaos Marshmallows. But here we go. The Marshmallows are down, and I think the chain route is just moments away.
Yeah, well, Karl may die. Oh, Karl's dead.
Oh, wow.
It looks like Chaos is not going down without taking care of the hero of Sigmar himself. But yeah, I think it's just too little too late, and the army losses are about to kick in.
Yeah, some of those Marauder Cav will surely be promoted to Chosen, at least. Maybe an exalted hero with the killing of Karl Franz, but yeah, still Empire wins the day.
Yeah.
What a great battle.
Indeed, indeed. And I mean, I really liked Xiphos' positioning there. He just had a really strong defensive position that he, was able to take advantage of. And I think Crabling had a chance there. I just think he was a bit too aggressive in the approach, especially with Kolek there taking a ton of damage early on, like half damage within the first minute of the battle. And then I really think, too, his Marauder Horseman needed to be used in a more aggressive fashion to take care of the silver, like the handgunners and the cannon. Because really the Demigryph Knights had their handful most of that battle, and that was the only mobility the Empire had. So I think if he would have spent more time with those Marauder Horseman Masters taking care of the Empire ranged before he just turned all the attention on throwing stuff at Karl, it probably would have paid off better. But any thoughts from you, sir?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And if he could have just worked the flanks a bit, that's the nice thing about that map. You have a great opportunity to do so. There's so much room. You can get on some nice level ground, and if you keep proceeding up the flank, you can even take the heal advantage from your opponent, which is always an interesting turn with Benson. He could just maybe work the flank. Losing the Forsaken on the flank early definitely hurt, because if he could have just crumped one of those flanks, could have just got right into that back line, because he did all right. But yeah, you can never really shut down the cannon or the silver bullets for a prolonged period of time to allow Kolek and his infantry to just kind of chew through. But this thing, he has a very strong infantry core, but that's kind of what this Empire army is meant to deal with. With the halberds and the flags, they can hold for a very long time while the guns dish out work. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think just you want to go on the flank. You don't want to go into the teeth of this force.
Yep.
Um, if you do, you need to break through very quickly and have some sort of plan to do so. Maybe a purple sun or what have you. Because yeah, if you get held up like that, that gunfire was just devastating. But still, it was great play by Kolek to still break through at some point and yeah, make it
Yeah.
a game.
No, absolutely, man. That was a good game, and this is a best of three, the first one of today. So we'll see what ends up happening here in the long run. But Xiphos is no longer going to be able to use his Empire forces, so I'm going to go ahead and mark them off for now. Just so you guys can see that Crabling still has access to all three of his factions. Xiphos can only play Wood Elves and Dark Elves moving forward.